Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely exciting.
We're talking electric superbikes, specifically the Ultraviolette F99,
Right out of India.
India's first foray into this kind of high-performance EV market. And let me tell you, this is not your average, electric scooter.
Oh, no.
This thing is a beast. We're talking fighter jet-inspired design,
Yeah.
neck-snapping acceleration, top speed that rivals some of the fastest gas-powered bikes out
This
there.
is really something special.
We've got a ton of info to dig through, articles, spec sheets, even some expert analysis on this bike. We're going to break it all down.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into it.
Everything from the design to how it stacks up against its rivals. Bikes like the Energica Ego Plus.
The Demon Hypersport.
Yeah, some serious competition there.
Absolutely. But what really sets the F99 apart, what I find so fascinating, is that it's not just about being, like, eco-friendly,
Yeah.
right? It's about proving that electric superbikes can go head-to-head with the gas guzzlers.
Right. It's not just about being green, it's about performance.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's take a look at the specs on this thing.
All right, let's see what we got.
All right. The spec sheet I have here is pretty impressive. I mean, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3 seconds.
Whoa.
That's mind-blowing.
That's supercar territory.
It is, and a top speed of 265 kilometers per hour. I mean, this thing is built for speed.
It's a rocket.
But it's not just about, raw power and speed. It also has a pretty decent range.
Yeah, you got to be able to go somewhere, right?
Exactly, 300 kilometers on a single charge. So you can actually enjoy the ride without worrying about constantly needing to plug in.
Practical.
Yeah.
Factor for a superbike.
I mean, when you see those specs laid out like that, it really hits you. The F99 is not just messing around in the electric world.
Yeah.
This thing is ready to compete with the big leagues. It's a real sign of how far electric motorcycle tech has come, Absolutely. And, you can't talk about this bike without talking about the looks. This thing is it's stunning.
Oh, it's a head turner for sure.
Sharp lines, aggressive stance, carbon fiber bodywork. I mean, it screams speed.
Like a fighter jet almost.
Yeah. I was going to say, it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Well, and that's not by accident. A lot of those design elements are functional too. They're not just for looks.
Oh, tell me more.
So it's got active winglets and air ducts that adjust based on your speed and how you're cornering.
Whoa, so they move.
Yeah, they move. They increase the downforce so you really feel, glued to the road.
Ah.
And they reduce drag too. It's almost like you're cheating the wind.
Like a Formula One car, but on 2 wheels.
Exactly.
That's wild. All right. So we've talked about the looks, we've talked about the speed, but let's get into the heart of this beast, the powertrain.
Yeah, the good stuff.
So this thing has 120 horsepower, liquid-cooled electric motor that delivers, get this, instant torque.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
So for those of us who maybe aren't engineers, break that down for us. What does that mean for the actual riding experience?
Okay, so imagine this. You twist the throttle, and bam, you're pinned to your seat. It's like pure acceleration, no lag.
Oh, wow.
And unlike gas engines where you got to shift gears and it could be kind of jerky, electric motors, they just deliver power smoothly, constantly.
So it's responsive.
Oh, incredibly responsive. It's honestly exhilarating. You're in complete control. You want power. It's there.
That sounds amazing.
And it really is something else.
And it's not just power with this bike. The F99 is packed with tech.
Oh, yeah, tons of it.
We're talking dual channel ABS, so you can, brake like a pro.
Yeah.
Traction control keeps you safe, especially when you're pushing it. And regenerative braking, which is awesome.
Yeah, free miles.
It puts energy back into the battery when you slow down. So smart.
It really helps extend that range.
Yeah. And then you got the digital instrument cluster.
Oh, yeah. That's slick.
Gives you all the data you could ever want right there in front of you. I mean, this thing it's a tech lover's dream.
It's like having a co-pilot, feeding you information, helping you analyze your performance. But what really gets me is how well they integrated it all.
Yeah.
It's not just tech for tech's sake.
Right.
It all works together to make the bike better, safer, more efficient. Like even the regenerative braking, it doesn't just add range, it makes braking smoother.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's really well thought out.
Okay, so let's talk competition. I mean, the F99 is entering a pretty crowded market. How does it stack up against against the big boys.
Yeah, there's some serious contenders out there.
We've got a chart here comparing it to the Energica Ego plus the Vero SRF.
The Damon Hypersport,
Yeah.
all pushing the boundaries in their own ways.
Yeah. So how does the F99 measure up?
Well, I mean, the Energica Ego Plus D, for example, that thing's got incredible range. If you're into, touring long distances, that might be your pick. The Zero SRF, it's a bit more affordable, kind of that sweet spot between performance and price. And then you got the Damon Hypersport. That thing's like straight out of the future. It's got this co-pilot AI system.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it uses sensors and cameras to like predict and prevent accidents. Pretty wild stuff.
So where does that leave the F99? What's its edge?
I think the F99 it's all about track performance. It's designed to be light, agile. It's got those active aerodynamics, that crazy, powerful motor. If you're looking for pure thrills, pure adrenaline, this is the bike for you.
So it's for the speed demon.
Exactly. It's a track weapon.
And speaking of, putting a price on speed, the rumored price tag for this thing is around $10,000.
Which, considering the performance you're getting, it's pretty competitive.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's not outrageous either.
It seems like Ultraviolette is really serious about, making a statement with this bike.
Yeah, it's not just about participating, it's about shaking things up.
Definitely. And it's kind of reflective of what we're seeing in India's EV market as a whole.
How so?
They're not just trying to catch up. They want to be leaders, innovators. And the F99 is like the poster child for that ambition.
It's definitely challenging the image of what an Indian motorcycle is. This isn't just about affordability anymore. This is about cutting-edge technology, world-class performance.
Pushing boundaries.
Yeah. The question is, can it win over the skeptics? The people who are still, holding on to their gas-powered bike.
That's the big question, right? Can this be the bike that convinces them to go electric?
I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I'm curious, what do you think? What's the most compelling thing about this bike for you?
I think it's how they've managed to blend that high-tech performance with a design that's just, it's so striking.
Yeah.
It's not just a machine. It's a statement. And it really speaks to both your head and your heart, Like, it's impressive on paper, but it's also just, it's beautiful to look at.
It's definitely a glimpse into the future of motorcycling, and it's a pretty exciting future, if you ask me. So we've covered a lot of ground here. I talked about the specs, the design, the tech, how it compares to other bikes, but I want to know, from what you've heard, what really stands out to you? What part of the F99 piques your interest the most?
I think it's how this bike really challenges, like, what people think about electric motorcycles. Like, it just proves you can have crazy performance without sacrificing sustainability.
Right. It's not a compromise. It's like the best of both worlds.
Exactly. But I got to ask, for a lot of riders, there's that feeling, that sound of a gas engine that they love.
Yeah, that roar. Do you think the F99 can it capture that same, I don't know, that same emotion?
It's a good question. Honestly, I think you got to experience it to really understand the instant torque, the quietness, the way it just cuts through the air. It's a different kind of thrill. It's not the same as a roaring engine, but it's still exciting. It's like it's its own thing.
It's like trading trading a lion for a panther. Both powerful but different.
Yeah, exactly. You can't judge it until you've tried it. It might just surprise you.
I might convert you.
Maybe. But I think what we're seeing here is the future of motorcycles.
Yeah.
And it's electric.
And the F99 it's like leading the charge.
Absolutely.
Well, if anyone's interested in learning more, we've got tons of links in the show notes, articles, videos, you name it. Go check it out. See for yourself what this bike is all about.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a look.
And hey, maybe the future of riding is quieter, cleaner, and more exhilarating than we ever thought. Until next time, keep those wheels turning.
Ride safe.